It's time for the Legal Minute now with Paul Harding from Martin, Harding, and Mazzotti at 1-800-LAW-1010. Good morning, Paul.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hey,
Good
so
morning.
Mary caught this story about this lawyer who wrote a, what was it?
How to drink and drive or something like that?
How
or
to
how
get
to get
out
out
of
of
a
a
DUI?
DUI? Yeah.
Yeah.
And he got one himself.
And so what we're wondering is, when you're facing a DUI, what exactly, you're the attorney, what are you looking forward to? A lot of people don't know all the costs that are associated. And
Yeah, well, it's obviously life gets bad at that moment. From the time that you look in that rearview mirror, you're pulled over through a some type of stop, you just kind of sense that things are going from bad to worse, and they do.
Yeah.
They're going to ask you, where you've been and what you've been doing, and the standard answers, have you been drinking? I had one. I had two. Well, that gives them probable cause to go in and kind of dig a little deeper and have you get out of the car, maybe do the walking down the line, and then ultimately leads to a breathalyzer. We kind of blow into that, and then from there, usually it follows, if your limits are over the legal limits, you find yourself back in the police station.
Right. And then
It gets costly, I'd imagine.
Yeah. Well, sure. You got to have legal representation, so you're going to call a lawyer, and often there are many lawyers who specialize, in this and sort of eliminate determine their whole practice because of DWI.
Right.
And, you kind of, one of those things where there are sometimes they made mistakes and they sort of did some process or procedure wrong, and you occasionally hear of people who have their DWIs thrown out, but they've got that down pretty well, and you end up, losing your license or having a restricted license. You have a criminal charge you got to deal with, which most people get pulled over have never seen the inside of a police station.
Right.
And then, of course, your insurance company gives you that final little welcome to the DWI world.
That's right.
Sometimes it could be times 4 or times 5 what you're paying currently.
the gift that keeps on taking.
It does, and then
it's not a gift.
No, it's not. And then as the years, the days, weeks, and months go by, it doesn't just go away. And not to mention, the newspaper picks it up, so your coworkers and friends.
Oh yeah, there's that too.
Right.
Yeah. So
we know this isn't something that's fun to talk about. We all know that, but this is also the time of year where the risk is increased for people to risk doing that.
Right.
if you understand what
Holiday
I'm saying.
parties, gatherings. Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, I looked real quickly at that lawyer down in Sarasota who wrote that crazy book, and now he's been arrested for it. But he asked for 2 breathalyzers and a blood test because he says, I just can't believe it was that high. I mean, I really was kind of just drinking responsibly, and then I got in my car. And the answer is, there's that kind of is a fallacy. If you're going to drink, you just can't drive. If you think you can count them or you can wait the hours out, it's too complicated. There's spiking of alcohol. So if you're going to drink, and there's nothing inherently wrong with drinking, but there's absolutely things that inherently wrong with drinking and driving. You're eventually going to go through this.
now, Paul, last year you guys did something great on New Year's where you did a program where you guys picked up the cost of getting a cab. Are you guys doing that again this year?
We're doing it again this year, and we've actually added some more holidays to this. But so on New Year's Eve, I just dial 1-800-LAW-1010, and we'll get a cab to you, and we'll get you home, and there's no cost, and there's really no questions around that. And we could talk about that more, but it's a program that's growing. We gave away a couple hundred rides last year.
That's great.
That rises up a little bit. Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, you know what? When we get closer to New Year's Eve, we're going to remind everybody. Cool?
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Paul. Hey, man, we'll talk to you next week.
Okay, guys.